Hello and welcome to another colourful edition of A Splash of Paint, brought to you in association with the SAA. In today's programme we'll be taking a look at a whole host of artistic treats to help you unlock your creative streak and encourage you to try your hand at something new. Let's get started and take a look at the latest products, tips and techniques on today's palette. International artist Susan Webb-Tregay will share her top tip to help you blend your own exciting mixture of media, textures and styles. Versatile acrylic artist Terry Chipp will be demonstrating how this dramatic and colourful medium can be used to create captivating beach scenes. Contemporary artist Marion Dutton drops by to tell us a few of her favourite things. And we go out and about again with Fraser Scarf as he returns to present another one of his fascinating insights into the inspiration and techniques from some of his favourite artists. But before all that, I'm going to show you a quick demonstration of how to paint the fantastic moonlit sky in watercolours. So basically, folks, I'm going to mix up a few colours and we're just going to put it all on wet into wet. So I've masked off an area. I've got a coin wrapped in tissue, pound coin or penny. That's going to be like a stamp. And then we're going to mix up the colours using a large size 20 brush for this one. So I want dark, heavy, dramatic, powerful colours for this particular scene. But we'll start off with the light colours first and we'll go for yellow ochre. First of all, quite pale bags of water. So a nice light yellow ochre colour. Nothing too strong at this point. Clean brush. And the second colour is going to be a nice, rich, strong, natural grey, which is quite heavy. I'm going to mix up a fair bit of this. And then we're going to go darker again. So this time, we're going to use natural grey again, but we're going to add some Prussian blue. Now, Prussian blue is very strong, very powerful, rich colour. It stains everything, includes your clothes, does Prussian blue, so watch out for that one. And then just going to add a little bit of alizarin crimson. That's all, just a tiny, tiny bit. So the dark red goes into there. So there's three colours making this thick, powerful, strong colour. Nice clean brush. And then we'll just wet the paper again. So we'll wet it all the way through. Look down the edge for the dry patches. So that's pretty much covered there. And then we're going to go for the yellow ochre first of all. Large brush, and we're going to be twisting. Put it flat to your paper and the brush is literally twisting. Now the paper that I'm using is a cotton-based paper, which means the paint goes in rather than runs down the paper, which does make a surprising difference. Horizontals at the bottom. That could be the water or something like that. So that's always a good starting point. Yellow ochre is a good start. Then we'll go for natural grey. I've not cleaned my brush. You can go straight in and you can put natural grey and you can twist it in right at the top there. Work across, mix all the colours together. And then we'll bring it through and you can see how they get in different shades of grey, and obviously the yellows mixing with it as well. In fact, it's probably about 50 shades of grey there, to be honest. And then down at the bottom again, horizontal brush strokes, because that could be the landscape or the water. So even at that stage, you've got a sky, but if we're talking a moonlit sky, we've got to go darker. This is where that Prussian blue colour comes in. Bit of drama here, folks. Brace yourselves. Might need to sit down for this one. Very dark. And you can see how powerful that colour is. But applying the same technique, it's the twisting technique, utilising the point of the brush if you can. Bring it down, take it up on the other side. Think about the shapes of these clouds. So you can see how we've created a very rich, heavy atmosphere to that sky. I'm also going down to the bottom of the picture again and doing the horizontal brush strokes. And then we'll stop there for the minute. We'll clean the brush really well. Get a piece of kitchen roll and just kind of wipe it dry. In fact, pinch the brush. Pinch your ferrule, which can be painful if you're not careful. Squeeze it, make your brush go flat like a bit of a spade. And then we can just feather, blend the watercolour, squeeze it and blend it. Clean it, squeeze it and blend it. Soften those lines away. And then what we'll do is put that brush away, go for the coin wrapped in tissue, Probably a good place to go for is somewhere where the edge of the Prussian blue colour starts to overlap. So we'll stamp the moon, say just there, bit of pressure. When you let go, you should have the moon effect. But what I'd like to do is come back to the brush just for a second, pick up the Prussian blue, and just where the cloud overlaps, just kind of bring it back over the top of it again. It gives this sort of moonlit atmosphere. Clean your brush, wipe it almost dry. Soften your brush again, and just ever so slightly, just soften the edge of that little piece you've just done. It's the moon as though it's just riding at the back of the actual cloud there. And then to finish off, come back to the Prussian blue colour, add a bit more grey, make it darker, touch more dramatic, so I'm thickening things up a little bit, very thick paint at this point. And then just add another sort of darker cloud as it comes down. Let's just bring one down there as it overlaps. And then literally clean your brush on a piece of kitchen roll, squeeze it out, very gently feather them away. And the most satisfying part of this picture for me is using the tiny, tiny little bit of kitchen roll, twisted into a little ball, and just where the moon is and where the clouds are, just adding one or two little highlights. So literally twisting and moving, and then very gently softening it away and working it back into the picture. Keep giving yourself a clean bit of kitchen roll as you do this, because it'll soon get messed up. And you can put as many highlights as you can get away with. I can see a nice one coming down that part of the picture. So it's the smallest little bit of kitchen roll, and just twisting, bit of left-handed there, multitasking. Just bring it through, very gently flick it backwards, and it starts to put those little highlights on. So I'm down to another piece of kitchen roll. I'm being a tight artist here, look, getting a little tiny piece. And you can see, as long as your paper lets you, you can add these little tiny white highlights, and it gives you the nice effect of the moonlit sky. So we're just about at the point where it's dry now, so it's not going to let us do much more than this. But again, as long as you don't put any more paint on this, because that's when you get problems with cauliflowers and things going wrong on your picture. As long as you don't put any more paint on, you can continue to scrub some highlights in the cloud. And we can see there quite a nice example of an atmospheric, stormy, moonlit sky and watercolours. And of course you can put whatever landscape you like on that. Now before we take a short break, let's take a quick dip into the Art by archive and catch up with colourful international artist Susan Webb-Tregay, as she shares the pleasure behind creating quick and easy to manage reference book that will help you successfully blend your own existing mixture of media, textures and styles.
I've got before me my little flip book. This contains my color strategies and design strategies that I've been using over the years. Even though I've been using these strategies for many years, I still go back to this book over and over again to help me choose something unusual to make my painting special. The beginning of this book has the color strategies. Each one has some image that I have chosen to remind me of what that color strategy is. A few of them are my paintings, most of them are from magazines, and it's lots of fun to try and find examples of each of the color strategies and design strategies. When I use this book, I look at my painting and say, gee, this design strategy is pretty close to what I could use. Or that design strategy, I can't use at all. Eventually, I get it down to 2 or 3 strategies, and I choose one. It may be just a random choice, but I've looked at 10 or 12 design strategies and accepted them or rejected them. I chose a notebook with really heavy cardstock to make this flip book. I use it every day. I flip through it. I want something that's easy to manage. I want it small enough that I can throw it in my painting bag and paint outside with it. I really think that you should choose to make one of these things too. Find examples of each of the design strategies, and later on you may find a better example, but you can always rip out the first one and put in a second one. I use this every day. It's a part of my life. It's an invaluable resource.
Simple little project for you to try, and remember, you can update it as often as you want. Well, it's time for a quick break, folks. So join us in part 2 when versatile acrylic artist Terry Chipp will be demonstrating his loose and fluid style to create a captivating beach scene. See you soon.